everyone, welcome to my video SCRT Telangana Class 9 English Unit 1 Reading A Part 3 The Snake and the Mirror. So in the previous videos we came across the experience of a homeopath telling that he was having an experience of the snake. And before that, he was telling some of his thoughts, some of the ideas that he developed before he had the experience of the snake. It was a late evening. He was in his room. As it was very warm, he could not sleep. He was seated on his chair and he was having a lot of thoughts regarding making himself handsome by shaving daily, by keeping a thin mustache, by combing his hair very often, and also about his life partner. Also, he had certain ideas which he shared with us, telling he wanted to marry a rich woman doctor who had good medical practice and who is very fat. And the reason why he wanted to marry a fat woman was because if he did any mistake, she shouldn't be able to run behind him and catch him. So that much we had seen in part 1 and 2. Now let's see the content of the lesson, video part 3. Such thoughts, what are the thoughts? His thoughts were how to make himself so handsome, as well as what kind of woman he should marry. With those thoughts in his mind, he resumed his seat in the chair in front of the table. So he came back and just sat there. There were no more sounds from above. Until then, you see, he was telling, again I heard the same sound. Again I heard the same sound. But at this time, there was no sound. No more sounds from above. Suddenly there came a dull thud as if a rubber tube had fallen to the ground. So suddenly he heard a noise. But it was not the sound of rats or any heavy object, just dull thud sound. And it is mentioned like as if a rubber tube or something fell on the ground. Surely nothing to worry about. So there was nothing to worry about it. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. Still, I thought better let me turn and just have a look at it. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of my chair and landed on my shoulder. So what happened? He knew that there was nothing to worry, but still he wanted to see what was that. So what sound he heard? So what did he do? He just turned back. Okay, he wanted to see, so he just turned back. There, the moment he turned, a snake, okay, suddenly a snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. Suddenly a snake landed on his shoulder. Imagine, just he wanted to see what was there in the back. So just as he was turning, a snake came on his shoulder. The snakes landing on me and my turning were simultaneous. So this happened somewhat at the same time. That's what he says. This happened. That means his turning as well as the climbing of the snake. That both were at the same time. So a few more words are given. Okay, its meaning also is there. You can refer to. Now the condition of the author, condition of the physician. Let's see. I didn't jump. I didn't tremble. I didn't cry out. Don't think he was so courageous, okay? I didn't jump. He couldn't move from there. I didn't tremble. Not even he was able to shiver. I didn't cry out. He couldn't even, what's called, shake his facial muscles. There was no time to do any such thing. The snake slithered along my shoulder and coiled around my left arm above the elbow. So what did the snake do? just on his left arm. Okay, just imagine. It coiled around his left arm and it was there above the elbow, between the shoulder and elbow. This area it coiled and it was there. The hood was spread and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from my face. It's like Lord Shiva, you know. Of course, around the snake is around his neck, okay. But here for this person, it is on his left arm, and its hood was spread, and it was just close to his face, hardly 3 or 4 inches away. That means it was very close to his face. It was very close to his face. You can just imagine when a full-blooded cobra is there, okay, that also just close to your face. What would be the condition? You can't even move a bit. You can't even move a bit. Why? Because at slightest movement, there may be a chance of the snake striking. Just a slight movement would be enough. Maybe a smile, maybe trying to cry, something. Because it was just close to his face, hardly 3 or 4 inches away, which means not even 4 inches. Not even the length of the finger size. So you can just imagine what might have been the condition of the person. Now, further he continues. It would not be correct to say merely that I sat there holding my breath. You can't just say that I was sitting merely just holding my breath. I was turned to stone. My condition as if I have turned to a stone. No movement. Without any movement, I was seated. But my mind was very active. Though his body was not moving, his mind was very active. The door opened into darkness. The room was surrounded by darkness. So, the door opened into darkness. Now, he did not close the door. The door is opened actually. He did not have to open the latch or anything. Suddenly, he could run. But the room was surrounded by darkness. There was no light. It was filled with darkness. So the room was surrounded by darkness. In the light of the lamp, I sat there like a stone image in the flesh. So, body, as you know, it is made of flesh. Our body is made of flesh. But as he just sat there, as there was no movement, one could say that he was just like a statue, like a stone image. I felt then the great presence of the Creator of this world and this universe. God was there. So now he thinks about God. He felt the presence of God. Until now, he was thinking only about what? How to beautify himself, how to make himself more handsome, how to show himself in front of others as a dignified person, how to impress others. Those were his thoughts. What kind of woman he is supposed to marry? All these thoughts were going on. Now he began to think about God. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. So, maybe I was thinking about a fat woman, I was thinking of marrying a rich woman doctor, what good medical practice, or maybe thinking about shaving daily and keeping a thin mustache and all. So, God did not like that, maybe. That could be the reason. Now I am in trouble. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words of God. He could not pronounce even the word of God. Why? If his facial muscles move, then there may be a chance that it might strike him. So he could not even say, "Oh God." He could not even say the prayer loudly. Why? Because the snake was so close to him. So outside his little heart, he just tried to write in imagination. You can't write it. So here in imagination, he wrote, "Oh God." Now, there was some pain in my left arm. It was as if a thick leaden rod, no, a rod made of molten fire, was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. So, how he felt when the snake was there? How he felt when the snake was there? That's what it is being discussed. As if a leaden rod or a rod made of molten fire. You can just imagine this type of things, liquid form. If iron and all, if it is in its liquid form, if it falls on the body, that will burn the complete flesh, the entire area. It is not like warm water or something falling on us. So if it falls, that goes, but that will burn the skin. But here, if it is a molten fire, that will burn even the flesh. So his condition was he felt such pain in his left arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. What could I do? So what was happening? He felt as if the strength of the left arm is being lost. That's how he felt. The strength of the left arm being lost. So he was thinking what he could do. What could I do? At my slightest movement, the snake would strike me. So a minor movement would be enough the snake to strike him. Death lurked 4 inches away because the hood was hardly 3 or 4 inches away from his face. And so he said, Death lurked 4 inches away. Suppose it struck. Now, suppose the snake strikes him. What was the medicine I had to take? He did not know what medicine to take because he did not bring any medicine. Though he was a doctor, he never cared to keep medicines at home. So he did not know what type of medicines he should take because there was no medicine. And so now he says about himself as, I was but a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor. Until then, he was considering himself to be very handsome, and he was all the more thinking about marrying as well as making himself handsome. But here, what's happening? He considers himself as a poor but a stupid, foolish doctor. He admits himself as a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. So he just forgot about the danger. Feebly means weakly, not smiling or laughing so loudly. In a feeble way, in a weak way, he was just smiling there. Okay, I was but a poor, foolish, and stupid doctor. I forgot my danger and smiled feebly at myself. So he just smiled at himself because he felt, though he was a doctor, he was such a foolish, stupid doctor. That's the reason he did not bring any medicines or he did not maintain any medicine at home. Now he is in trouble. This is a snake. If it strikes, he did not know what medicine he should be taking. So that's the end of part 3. The rest of the lesson we will see in part 4. Thank you.